All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning, wherever it is that you're listening to this show from. This is Follow the Money, brought to you by Nairametrics. My name is Ugodre, and of course, we do this every Monday on this channel, 8 to 8:30. Are you on your way to work, in traffic, or you're just home, working from home, and listening to radio? Just bring out your phone because this is really about investing. We're going to be talking about stocks and the stocks that did very well in the month of August. It's been an amazing year for investors, especially Nigerian exchange or Nigerian stock exchange, as some of us still like to call it, because the stock market is still one of the best places to invest in Nigeria this year so far. Stocks have been on a massive bullish ride over the last few months, but August was a little slow compared to the month of July, and we're going to be looking at that today, amongst other things. So we'll start first with the NGX. The stock market closed out the last trading week of August on a negative note, and that extended its losing streak to three consecutive weeks. This is coming on the back of like 12 or so weeks of positive gains. So another week of losses. All share index declined by 708.64 points, or 0.5% to close at 140,295. Kind of look like at one point we were hitting 150K, but 140 down from 141 last week. Market cap has now fallen below 90 trillion naira. Market cap is now at 88.76, when at some point it was looking like market cap was going to hit 100 trillion by the end of August, man. Like, stocks were flying towards the tail end of July and early August, but we've seen this pullback, and market cap is now 88.76 from 89.2 trillion the week before, and we're no longer at that 90 plus trillion marker. I don't know, it kind of looks like the moment the presidency just sort of like, took ownership of how good the stock market has been, things just started going down. I'm not speculating, but I mean, you know what I mean. Trading volume, 3.2 billion shares, down from 4.1 billion shares in the prior week. Less stocks being traded by investors. And of course, we had 32 advancers, 57 decliners, and unchanged were 57 stocks. So 57 stocks did not rise or did not fall during the week. So funny thing was that stocks actually started pretty strong at the beginning of the week, and then before it kind of went bearish. And across sectors, we did record some of this, slowdowns. The Nigerian banking index was down 1.21%, dragged by sell-offs from EcoBank, Access Bank, Zenith Bank, FCMB, and Wema Bank. The NGX insurance index down 1.02%, and that was hit by most insurance companies, kind of likes of Guinea Insurance, LASACO, Mutual Benefit, Cornerstone Insurance. And of course, consumer goods down 0.89% as well. Industrial goods down 0.36%. And oil and gas stocks down 0.18%. So even the NGX premium index wasn't spared at all. That also fell 0.75%, weighed down by over 3% losses in Zenith Bank and Lafarge. So tough week. And of course, we had a lot of losers. ABC Company down 9.8%, Dark Communications down 9.92%, John Holt's down 10%, Cornerstone also 10%, Royal Exchange down 11%, Mutual Benefit down 11%, University Press down 12%, LASACO Assurance down 13.29%, Guinea Insurance down 19%, and Secure Electronic Tech down 22.73% to round up the top 10 losers for the week. And of course, in terms of gainers, Better Glass still ended up gaining 8% months to date, or at least for that week. Score up 9%. Julius Berger, wow, Julius Berger is currently trading at 146 naira per share. Remarkable stuff. Up 9.93%. SFS Rates, as a real estate investment trust, up 9.9%. NCR up 10%. Lena Africa up 11.43%. Coronation Insurance up 12.77%. Mega Paints up 15.31%. NEM Insurance, one of the stocks that we recommended, up 17.29%. And McNichols up 18.75%. So if you are a subscriber to ftm.ng, followthemoney.ng, that's the acronym for it, ftm.ng, then you would see our universe of stocks that we often, recommend on that website. Of course, buyer beware. Always do your own research. All right. So, what else happened through the week? Legend Internet released this full year results. We're going to talk about that at some point on the show. Access Holdings, the holding company for Access Bank, they were in the news during the week when they announced a new group MD CEO for the holding company. Of course, that was after they also announced that the MD of the bank, Roosevelt Ogbonna, was going to be resigning from the board in compliance, as they said, with regulatory requirements. And so he's going to be leaving the board, and but he continues as the MD of the bank. The bank, there are like 17 banks under his leadership as Group Bank MD. And interestingly, the banks contribute over 90% or thereabout of Access Bank's revenue from Nairametrics research. And so that was why a lot of people were surprised that he was stepping down from the Holdco board. But as they all say, it's all part of corporate governance. And we did do a little bit of insight into that at Nairametrics. And to be fair to the bank, there were quite a number of banks who also don't have the MD of their bank, the banks, on the board of the Holdco. So, apart from a few, I think it was probably only First Holdco and Sterling that had the MD of the bank still on the board of the Holdco. So, I guess Access is basically towing the line of some of the other banks who don't have the MDs of the banks on the board of their Holdco. So that basically, took Roosevelt off the bank's board of directors, the Holdco's board of directors. But then they also announced Innocent Ike as the new Group MD CEO of the Holdco. He's got a bit of history with Access Bank, by the way. He used to be on. He's been one of the top execs at Access Bank several years ago before he left. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he was also the MD of I think Polaris or so, one of those banks at some point before he left. And now he's back in banking circles, and he's the Group MD of what a lot of people would arguably agree that is probably the largest financial services institution in Nigeria, in fact, in West Africa, and one of the largest in Africa by total assets. Access Corporation is a huge behemoth, and he's going to be the Group MD of that entity. All right, another piece of announcement during the week. GTCO also announced fresh capital injection into the bank, and basically meeting their 500 billion recapitalization target. So GTCO has now crossed that line, and not GTCO really. GT Bank is actually the bank that needs to meet that target. So they have met it already. And so that is great news for, shareholders of GTB. And it's now to the moon, right? That's what we want to look at now. What else is going to happen to GTCO now that they have hit those those targets. IEI was also in the news. They did mention that they had settled their 1.85 billion yen loan, and they did that via Norenberger, another financial services group based out in Abuja. All right, so also in the news, busy week too. We did have foreign portfolio investor data as well into Nigeria, and it kind of looks like FPI into Nigeria surged to 1.8 trillion in July, more than double what it was this time last year. So no wonder July was pretty good. A lot of FPIs invested in the stock market in July, and I'm not surprised. I won't be surprised if GTCO is one of the reasons for this, because GTCO did list on the London Stock Exchange back in July and kind of like backed. This could be one of those, inflows that we saw, and of course, you still have the likes of Seplat as well, dual listed, and on a year-on-year basis, FPI was 269% growth compared to July 2024 at 491 billion. So the 1.8 trillion in July was more than double the June figure of 778. So just put into perspective. But year on year, it was up 269%. Is one of the highest monthly foreign inflows that we have recorded on the exchange. 1.8 trillion came in. So that's like 1.2 or thereabout $1 billion. Flowing into the Nigerian Stock Exchange from foreign investors. Of course, domestic transactions still continues to top, but it was a very good month for investors. So, and then we'll move on to another news before we go on the break. I did mention Legend Internet delivered 45% net profit growth. This is based on their audited accounts. If you're wondering what Legend Internet is, it's a new company that was listed on the exchange, I think, this year. And so they did report a profit after tax of 172.6 million, up 44.5% compared to last year's 119.4 million revenue, up 4.6% to 1.1 billion from 1.3 billion the year before. The company's fiber broadband business did the heavy lifting, contributing 1.12 billion or 94% of their total revenue. So looks like a company that is growing. They did incur a lot of high OPEX, but they seem to be dealing with that as well. Cutix also released his Q1 numbers. Cutix tends to end its year, I think, in July. Cutix, one of Nigeria's electric cable manufacturing, just posted a sobering. There was a sobering Q1 2026 result with pre-tax profit plunging 81% year on year to 4 million for the period ended July 2025. This thing kind of confuses me. July, June, May. So their year end is April 30th. Yes. So revenue from cable sales dropped 7.4% to 3.2 billion in the quarter, while cost of raw materials rose. Gross margins compressed by 21%. Operating profit margin also down 8%. So it looks like the company kind of struggled on a cost side. Even finance cost also surged 160% to 191 million. So Cutix kind of struggled in the first quarter of the year, especially in a period where a lot of companies did well. So interesting to see what happened in Cutix. I guess we would analyze this later on one of our other shows on Nairametrics. You probably want to watch that as well. In case you're not watching a Nairametrics show on YouTube, you want to check that out. Go to YouTube and look for Nairametrics TV and follow us, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and you would see a whole lot of other shows that we have. By the way, Drinks and Mics, our flagship podcast, is back this Friday, so you don't want to miss out on that. It's got a lot of juicy stuff we're going to talk about on Drinks and Mics live this Friday, 6 p.m. It's going to be every Friday, 6 p.m. and the usual gang is going to be back with me as well. All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we're back, we're going to talk about the top 10 gainers for the month of August, the hottest stocks in Nigeria, the month of August, and the hottest stocks in Nigeria year to date, like the stocks that have posted the largest gains. You want to check who those top 10 stocks are when we're back. All right, welcome back to the second part of the show. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Follow the Body, brought to you by Nairametrics. Of course, my name is Ugodre, and we do this every Monday. You can catch this particular episode on our YouTube channel, Nairametrics TV, and you can play it back, rewind, slow it down, pause, whatever it is that you want to do. You can even download the show as well. You can watch at your convenience. That is what technologies for these days. And you could also catch me in the studio as well as we record this session live right here. All right, so in the second part of the show, I said I was going to talk about the hottest stocks in Nigeria at the moment. I don't know if they're going to be hot in September, but these were the hottest stocks in the month of August. And I want to see if you probably want to check if you own any of the stocks. And so we start coming at number 10 is Ellah Lakes. Ellah Lakes gained 53.09% in the month of August. They took the 10th position. This stock opened at about 9 naira, 21 naira per share, and even rose to as high as 17.65 naira as at the 13th of the month. So like almost doubled. And then, of course, it pulled back yet again as well, closing, with a gain of just 53.6 naira per share. Of course, one of the reasons why this was happening was because of a slew of announcements that they made during the month. The company CEO, unveiled plans to expand this oil palm plantation by 1,500 hectares, while allocating 100 hectares to animal husbandry, a strategic move that perhaps caught investors' attention, as you might want to believe, but probably something else is the reason why the share price went up. I mean, I don't want to think it's just that piece of news, but you know what? I mean, don't speculate. But Ellah Lakes had already stunned the market in June, where the share price was 135% as well. So this is a stock that has been gaining steadily all year round. Universal Insurance also up 53.85% to make it at number 9, ninth hottest stock in Nigeria for the month of August. This stock opened at about 0.78 kobo per share and basically broke through that 1 naira ceiling and closed at 1 naira 20 kobo per share. During the period, there were about 2 billion shares exchanged as investors in the shares, increased interest in it. Now, it's not like there was anything fundamental going on with Universal Insurance, but kind of looks like this was mostly driven by renewed sentiment in the insurance sector. The stock is now up year to date 81.8% year. Linkage Insurance, another insurance stock, also up 55.17%. It started at about 1.145 kobo per share, and then blew past that 2 naira mark to close at 2 naira 25 kobo per share. At some point, it was at 2 naira 72 kobo per share. Of course, this again was due to the renewed interest in insurance stocks. I mean, you would be surprised to see a lot of insurance stocks on this list, by the way. And by the way, again, Linkage also reported higher revenue, which went up 10.5 billion, up from 10.7 billion in the same period. This is one of the oldest insurance companies that's been around for a while, though. Year to date, this stock is up 128%, so more than doubled so far. All geared towards that capital raise that could be coming for the insurance sector. Coronation Insurance also up 56.71%, doing during the month of August to make it number 7 in terms of the hottest stocks in Nigeria. This stock started at 2 naira 31 kobo per share and then climbed to as high as 4 naira 47 kobo, and then it pulled back as the sector, the hot streak basically cooled, and it closed at 3 naira 62 kobo per share, and had a very good first half. By the way, insurance revenue up 32.9 billion from 21.3 billion the prior year. Premiums, that's the money it collects for insuring your assets, rose to 26 billion from 18.8 billion. So pretty solid numbers as well for Coronation. And so no surprise, share price is up, and it's currently up 60.9% year to date. You want to check if this stock is one of the stocks on our buy list on ftm.ng. You might want to check that as well. Number 6 is NCR. NCR Nigeria up 59.13%. It's a fintech company quoted on the exchange, and it opened at 7.25 naira and crossed into double digits and ended at 11.55 naira per share. Could also be due to its results. It did report 44.6 million pre-tax profits, up from a loss of 1.4 billion in the first half of last year. So maybe this is one of the reasons why it went up. Share price is up 131% year to date. So that basically rounds up the bottom 5 best stocks for the month of August. So those were the hottest stocks in the month of August. So did you find any one of them interesting? Any of the stocks that did you have any of them in your portfolio? If you did have any of the stocks in your portfolio, then you should be smiling. So who were the top 5? Or who are the top 5 hottest stocks in Nigeria today? Number 5 is Regency Alliance, another insurance company, up 63.75% to occupy the 5th position. The stock opened at just 80 kobo per share. And by the 13th of the month, a lot of stuff happened on that day. This stock was at 1.1967 kobo per share. And it did pull back, just like the others, to 1.22 kobo per share, and then closed the month at 1.31 kobo per share. The company says it's projecting pre-tax profit of 1 billion on an expected revenue of 5.8 billion. And so perhaps investors also saw that forecast as positive, but I kind of think it's all because of the Insurance Act that was signed by the president. No surprises as well. Number 4 is Guinea Insurance PLC. Guinea Insurance up 65.12%. These are all 1 month gains, 65.12%. Imagine stocks gaining 65% in 1 month. So if you had put $1 million in the stock, you'll be gaining 650,000 gross. All right, so the stock started at 86 kobo and smashed through the 1 naira barrier, eventually closing at 1 naira 42 kobo. At some point, it hit 1 naira 77 kobo per share. Who knows? Maybe it's on that 13th as well. Anyway, but in terms of fundamentals for the half year, the company posted insurance revenue of 1.4 billion compared to 1.2 billion same period last year, and premiums 1.6 billion, 32% year-on-year growth. So fundamentals was also strong, and year to date, Guinea Insurance is up 75.3%. Another insurance company now makes it to the top 3, and that is Veritas Kapital Insurance. Gained 65.35% to take the 3rd spot. And this stock opened at 1 naira 27 kobo per share, and it closed to 2 naira 10 kobo. It closed at 2 naira 10 kobo per share. At some point, it was trading at 2 naira 79 kobo per share. And just like the others, fundamentals also look strong. Revenue up to 12.5 billion from 9.9 billion a year before, and premiums, what it collects from you for insuring your assets, up 9.84% to 13 billion. This stock is currently up 54.4% year to date. Number 2 is AIICO Insurance, one of the oldest, if not the oldest insurance company on the exchange, up 91.47% year to date. This stock opened at 2.11 kobo per share and then went to as high as 4.65 kobo per share and closed at 4.4 kobo per share. The company's revenue was also up 34% to 65.4 billion. I told you it's one of the largest insurance companies out there. Premiums also rose 8.17% to 94 billion. AIICO Insurance stocks has more than doubled this year, almost tripled actually, up 182% year to date. And the number one stock in Nigeria for the month of August in terms of gains, like this is the numero uno of stocks so far this year, is, you got it right, another insurance company, Mutual Benefit Assurance, up 114%. In fact, 114.29% year to date. This stock started at 1.82 kobo per share, blew past 2 naira and the 3 naira barriers before hitting an all-time high of 4.45 kobo per share. It did fall back to like 4 naira per share and closed the month at 3.90 kobo per share. The company's results were also stellar, with insurance revenue surging 44.58% to 41.1 billion. Premiums also advanced 38% to 47.2 billion per share. And this stock, in case you didn't know, is up 539% year to date. So those are the hottest stocks in Nigeria as we speak. But what are the hottest stocks in Nigeria in terms of in total year to date? I'm going to give you the top 5, and we will start with UPDC. UPDC is up 308%, this year so far, one of the hottest stocks in Nigeria. And Champions Bureau is also doing pretty well, up 354% this year. TIP also up 380.4% this year. And the best performing stock this year, based on our data, is Better Glass. Better Glass, best performing stock so far this year. Of course, let's not forget Mutual Benefit Assurance, that is up over 500% this year as well. But Better Glass takes the top spot as the best performing stock in Nigeria so far this year at 648.8%. All right, so that is Follow the Money for the first Monday of the month of September. So we're starting the Monday at a very hot level with a lot of gains, and I hope that this is a month that brings to you a whole lot of gains as well as we get into the Ember month. We're already in the Ember month, and I mean, you know what Ember month is? It's usually a month of celebration, but also a period where you start to consolidate for the year and look forward to the next year. So this has been Follow the Money, brought to you by Nairametrics. You can catch this episode on our YouTube channel, as well as other money-related programs on Nairametrics TV on YouTube. Until we do this again next week, do have a profitable week and a profitable month ahead. Bye.